Hey guys, this is Rachel from Cypress Textiles, and today we're going to be making the ginkgo tree square from the 2018 Vibrant Vintage Crochet Along reboot. And I'm going to be using Soft Fun Aquarel in this really fun color. This is color 806, slip knot, chain 3, and then make a slip stitch in the third chain from the hook to make a ring. Now in our ring, we're gonna make 4 popcorns. This one. So let's make a beginning DC, which is a single crochet and a chain 1. And then we're gonna make 3 double crochets. This is like our beginning popcorn. All right, now we're going to release the loop from the hook and insert the hook front to back through the chain of that beginning DC, making sure to get the 2 back loops of the chain. All right, and then we're going to replace the loop, grab the loop and pull it through to the front, and that closes our popcorn. And you're just going to want to make sure that you're like squishing your double crochets together as you go. Otherwise, all 4 popcorns won't fit. Okay, so now we're going to chain 5. All right, and then we're going to make a popcorn. This is a full popcorn, so we're going to do 4 double crochets. All right, and remove our loop from the hook, insert the hook front to back in the first DC, grab the loop and pull it to the front, and that closes our popcorn. And you can already see that your popcorns start to really go crazy, so you've got to really put them in their place. You're gonna have 4, so you need 1 at like 6 o'clock, 1 at 3 o'clock, and then we're gonna chain 5, and we're into our repeat now. So our repeat is chain 5 popcorn. So I'm going to go ahead and do that 2 more times and then chain 5, and then I'll be back at the start ready to join. Alrighty, so now I'm ready to join, and all I'm going to do is get into this chain that we joined our first beginning popcorn with. That's where we're going to make our slip stitch to join. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull my tail to close my center. So I was working over my tail for round 1, and I'm gonna bring my tail up to where I can trap it in this next round still, so that way I don't have as many ends to weave at the end. So in each of these chain spaces, I'm gonna make 7 single crochet. 2, 3. Okay, so now I'm ready to join. So I'm gonna go ahead and find my first single crochet and make a slip stitch in it. All right, and then we're going to make another slip stitch because we've got to get to this center single crochet. And 1 more. So slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. And now we're in that, the 4th single crochet of the previous round. And we're gonna make a beginning DC and then 5 more double crochets in that same stitch. So we've got 6 double crochets all together, including the beginning double crochet. Okay. And I'm going to chain 1 and skip 2 stitches, and then DC in the next stitch, DC in the next stitch as well. Okay. And then make a 1 chain, skip 2. Now we're at our center single again. Make 6 DC in that same stitch. All right, so that's our repeat. Alrighty, so we're back at the beginning again, and I've got a chain 1 on my hook, and I'm ready to join into the beginning DC. And just make sure that you get the back 2 loops of the chain 1 from the beginning DC when you make your slip stitch. All right, so now the round is joined, and in the next stitch here, not this joining stitch, in the next stitch we're gonna make a 2 DC cluster. So that is the beginning one, of course, since we're at the beginning. So we're going to make a single crochet and a chain 1. That's our beginning DC. And we're going to make a regular DC. And then chain 2. Okay, so that's our beginning 2DC cluster and chain 2. And then in the very next stitch, we'll make a 2DC cluster. Okay, and I'll slow that down for you just in case. So you're going to yarn over, insert the hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and go through 2 loops, and leave a loop on the hook. Then yarn over, insert into the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull yarn through 2 loops, and now you've got 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and go through all 3 loops. So your 2DC cluster is done. Chain 2, and essentially you're just going to work a 2DC cluster in these 5 DC here. Your first one was your joining stitch, so that one you're going to do whenever you come back around to join. But for now, you're going to do a 2DC cluster, chain 2, 2DC cluster, chain 2, 2DC cluster, chain. All right, 2DC cluster and chain 2. Okay, so now I'm going to skip across this chain and 2DC and chain. I'm going to skip straight across that, and I'm going to go into my 2DC cluster, chain 2. All right, and that's my repeat. Okay, so I'm back at the beginning now, and I've got my 2 chains on my hook here, and I wanted to show you guys that you have to work into the first, the beginning DC from the previous round with a 2DC cluster as well. So I just wanted to make sure that we don't skip that stitch by mistake and just join into the first beginning 2DC cluster. So make your 2DC cluster and chain 2, and now we're ready to join. So the way I join into this beginning 2DC cluster here is I find my DC stitch and I kind of put my hook into these. I don't go into the DC like it's a regular stitch. I go into it like it's a cluster. So I would go into these 2 front loops there and then make my slip stitch. And that way it looks just like the rest of the clusters. So if you see this round, you've got 6 2DC clusters with 2 chains in between and 2 chains as well here, skipping over this section. So that's how we've got, that's how we've done with that round. All right, so now we're ready to jump into the next round. What we're going to do is make 2 single crochets into the chain space, and then in the next chain space we're going to work 3 single crochet, 2, 3. In the next chain space we work 2 again. All right, and now we're going to chain 2, and in skipping this chain space in this side chain 2 space here, we're going to work treble stitches. So don't get too loose with your treble, or you're going to end up with loose treble stitches. So make 3 treble crochet, chain 3, 3 treble crochet, all in this space right here. And remember, you're skipping this chain 2 space. You're skipping that one. All right, so treble, 3 trebles, three chains, and 3 trebles. Yep. And chain 2, and that's our repeat. So let me show you guys. I've got 2 singles, 3 singles, 2 singles, 2 chains, and then, believe it or not, this is our corner. So we're going to be making this into a square here. So this center popcorns are going to be on it as an X, not as a plus sign. All right, so 3 trebles, chain 3, 3 trebles, all in that side chain 2 space, and then chain 2. So when I jump into my next repeat, I'm going to skip this chain space and go ahead and work into this one here with 2, 3, and 2 single crochets. And that's our repeat. So we're going to go ahead and do this repeat around until I'm at the beginning and I'm ready to join. Alrighty, so I'm ready to join here. And I wanted to show you guys how this round looks. And if you're feeling like your center is kind of puffing out too much, you can take your fingers and put them in these big gaps here and just make sure you stretch it all out. Get it nice and stretched so that your stitches can kind of bloom. It's just like a light little blocking technique so that your stitches can be nice and open. Okay, so I've got a chain 1 on my hook. That's supposed to be a chain 2. All right, chain 2, and then since my space is skipped here, you're going to join into your first single crochet with a slip stitch. And now you're kind of home free. So you're just going to make 2 rounds of single crochet now. So this is the final 2 rounds. So let me show you how we do that. In the next stitch, go ahead and start with your singles. So you're going to make a single crochet in all of these stitches, and you will encounter a chain. So in this chain, you're just going to make 2 singles. All right, and then single crochet in your 3 trebles for your corner. All right, and in your chain 3 space, you're just going to make 3 singles. Okay, again, in this chain space, make 2 single crochet, and now we're back to where we're just going to make single crochet in all the stitches across. So let me back up and show you. All right, so in these chains, you make 2 singles. You've got 3, 4, 5, 6, you've got 7 singles right here that you're going to work into, and then the corner, it's 3 singles. All right, so just go ahead and keep working around like that. That's our repeat until you get to the beginning, and then we're ready to join. I've already joined my round with a slip stitch, and I have to work 1 more round. We're gonna just be doing single crochet in all the stitches across until we get to our corner. So now I'm at the corner, and then we're gonna work 3 singles in that corner stitch. All right, so that's our repeat, you guys. I will see you guys whenever we get back to the beginning and we're ready to finish our square. Alrighty, so now I'm back at the beginning, and I've already joined, and I've cut my tail, so I'm ready to weave it in. So to do that, we're going to do it like we've been doing for the other squares. Insert your hook back to front through the stitch to the left of the joining stitch, grab your tail and pull it to the back. Okay, tighten up that that slip stitch so that it lies flush across, just like the rest of the V's. Insert the hook back to front through the back loop only of the stitch to the right of the joining stitch, and pull the tail through to the back, and then repeat that same maneuver going back to front through the back loop only. All right, so there we go, and that is our ginkgo tree square. You can see these kind of look like the leaves. That's why I picked this square for the name. And I hope you guys enjoy the square. I think it's a pretty square to use even on its own. And I will see you guys for the next one. So happy crafting, you guys. Bye-bye.